There are lots of questions about the Flash that I wanted answered before seeing the movie. The last time we see the Flash is in the Justice League. He's new to this superhero gig and used to being part of a team. How has he adapted to solo superheroing? Where does he get his fancy new suit ring from? How does he discover he can time travel? Or phase through solid objects, and more? Well, most of these questions were actually answered in an official DC tie-in comic book special late last year. It was only a 3-parter, but it gives us loads of info to really fill in the gaps between Justice League and this solo Flash movie. So in today's video, I will be giving you all you need to know from that prequel comic. I'm also going to share my thoughts on the comics themselves. Let's get into it.
What are you?
I'm Batman.
I'm Batman. Fear. I'm vengeance.
So issue 1 purely revolves around Barry trying to get to grips with life as a solo superhero. The story begins in Central City, where chaos erupts during an illicit arms deal. The Flash, known as the fastest man alive, intervenes to halt the transaction, swiftly obliterating the crates filled with illegal weapons. However, the situation takes an unexpected turn when a colossal figure with a metallic body lunges at the Scarlet Speedster, overpowering him in their initial confrontation. This formidable adversary, known as Gerda, relentlessly pursues the Flash, driven by a deeply personal motive that becomes evident to Barry. His father is in hospital and he needs the money to pay the bills, stopping at nothing to do so. Realizing the gravity of the situation and the need for assistance, Barry races to Gotham City, seeking out the legendary Batman. With the intention of putting an end to Gerda's reign of terror once and for all, Barry humbly requests Batman's guidance and training. Recognizing Barry's determination and the urgency of the matter, Bruce Wayne agrees to lend his expertise, starting their training from the most basic of basics. Together, the duo sets out to hone Barry's skills, preparing him for the inevitable clash with Gerda. As the story unfolds, Flash learns to control his power far better, even if strangely quickly, seemingly just by learning how to make a fist. Let's just go with it. And he eventually defeats Gerda, locking him up and helping him with his father's medical bills. Well, Bruce Wayne does the helping, but it shows that Barry is trying to actually make a difference and not just fight bad guys. Oh, and during the fights, Barry's suit does not hold up too well with the intense battles and speed, so at the end of this issue, Batman presents him with a gift from himself and Alfred, a new suit, one that somehow fits inside a ring. Again, I don't understand how it works, but it's cool. The first issue was alright. I was not a fan of the art style at all. It felt more manga than it did DC Comics, and some of the writing was a little strange. It sort of felt like Barry didn't have any previous experience fighting alien invasions or anything like that. It felt like the writer was literally just telling us that he could run fast, and that was all that he could do. So he even needed Batman to show him how to make a fist. Then suddenly, he was a good fighter, able to defeat his enemy. It felt a little forced and like a cheap way to get Batman involved in the story, but other than that, I enjoyed this first issue. On to the second. The Flash finds himself grappling with an overwhelming array of responsibilities, struggling to strike a balance between maintaining a relationship with his incarcerated father and maintaining his internship at the Central City PD's forensic squad, all while combating this issue's new adversary known as Tar Pit. Unlike the previous issue, there are no notable guest appearances, as the narrative places emphasis on Barry Allen's personal growth and the invaluable lesson he must learn: the significance of living in the moment, in order to evolve into a more formidable and virtuous hero. Tar Pit's introduction into the series is okay. It provides a portrayal of the Monteleone crime family escalating struggles within Central City. The writer tries to craft Tar Pit's character with the right blend of personality and motivation, prompting him to make a public appearance in response to his family's woes. This then in turn presents Barry with a compelling reason to utilize his newfound phasing abilities at a crucial juncture. It's actually quite cool to see how this version of the character discovers and practices one of his key abilities, phasing. It's important to note that this isn't a groundbreaking or earth-shattering Flash narrative. Much of what we already know about the Scarlet Speedster and his ever-expanding roster of formidable foes will be familiar. Nevertheless, the writer adeptly streamlines the complexities of decades worth of Flash canon, delivering a captivating and accessible origin story that remains true to the essence of the character. The result is a fairly engaging and enjoyable tale that resonates with readers. The issue was okay. It lacked a team-up like issue 1 had with Batman, but on the plus side, the art was significantly better. Issue 3. The Top is the villain of this issue. It seems his main motivation in this story is to prove he's essentially better than the Flash, to have the citizens lose faith in their hero. During their first fight, Flash struggles, and in a self-reflective moment later on, says that Top is fast enough to hit him if he slows down for even a second. He says that he needs to be fast without being destructive, so he goes to a racetrack to train. He realizes here that he can create after images, almost frames of his past self. It's pretty cool that each one of these 3 issues shows us Barry learning one of his key abilities. Anyway, he eventually uses this after image power to confuse and defeat Top, of course saving the day. We then get to see Flash visiting his father in jail, telling him that he gave advice to Barry that Barry gave to him, so he wanted to thank him. The issue then ends with a full, hero-fied version of the Flash, ready for his solo movie. The final issue was a bit meh to me, but again, decent artwork, pacing was decent, it just wasn't really a big hitter. It could have used more Batman. Well, couldn't everything? Anyway, that's pretty much it. I thought I would quickly fill you guys in on this info before the release of the movie this week. My review of the movie will hopefully be out tomorrow. I'll do 2 reviews, a spoiler-free one and a spoiler-full one, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on seeing those. Thank you all for watching. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe and return to the Batcave for more Bat content.